Hey, what's up guys, OSG here, and today I'm kicking off a brand new series. We're going year by year through the life of the Commodore 64, counting down the very best games that each year had to offer. From humble beginnings in 1982 to the later golden years, we'll see just how much this little machine grew and evolved. In each episode I'll be counting down the top 10 games, playing a minute of each, and filling you in with the history, trivia and the reasons why it stood out. So let's get started with the very first year, 1982, and the top 10 C64 games that launched this legendary era. We start at number 10 with Radar Rat Race, one of Commodore's early in-house games. It's a clone of Namco Valley X, with you playing as a mouse racing round a scrolling maze, collecting cheese while avoiding cats. The clever touch is the radar at the top of the screen, letting you track the hazards before they close in. It wasn't original, and Namco's lawyers probably weren't thrilled, but for many early C64 owners, there was a real taste of arcade-style racing action at home. At 9 is Weather War 2, a game that lets you weaponise the weather itself. Two players face off hurling tornadoes, lightning bolts and other natural disasters at each other. It was primitive, sure, but in 1982 the idea of controlling the forces of nature in a duel was surprisingly fresh. It also showed off the C64's flexibility, showing that not every game had to be about spaceships and lasers. It's more of a curiosity now, but at the time it felt unique. Number 8 is Seawolf, another Commodore arcade-style release. Based on the 1976 Midway arcade game, you take control of a submarine periscope, firing torpedoes at ships passing above. The timing is everything, as your torpedoes take a moment to travel upwards. It captured a simple but addictive gameplay loop of the original coin-op, and like many early C64 titles, it was all about bringing the arcade experience into the home. At 7 we've got Night Mission Pinball by Sublogic, and yes, that's the same company that will go on to be famous for the Flight Simulator series. This was one of the most accurate computer pinball simulations of its day, with detailed physics, flippers, bumpers, and even adjustable settings to let you tweak the playfield. For 1982, the realism was jaw-dropping, and it proved that the C64 could do more than just shooters and maze games. It's one of the earliest examples of a serious simulation on the platform. At 6 is Amiga Race, a vector-style shooter clearly inspired by games like Asteroids. You pilot a ship around a rectangular track, blasting enemies and avoiding incoming fire. What set it apart was its tight controls and sheer speed, a pure reflex game that kept players glued to their screens. Commodore themselves pushed this one as its showcase title, and for good reason, because it showed the C64 could deliver proper arcade thrills. Number 5 is Le Mans, a top-down racing game that took its name from a famous 24-hour endurance race. The game itself wasn't quite that epic, but it did feature tight track layouts, cars to overtake and hazards that made each lap challenging. For many early C64 players, this was their first real taste of racing on the system. While it may look primitive now, in 1982 it was like a glimpse of things to come, showing that the C64 could handle more complex genres like driving sims. At number 4 we've got Exterminator from Bubble Bus Software. Here you're tasked with blasting waves of insects in a maze-like environment, and yeah, it's very millipede. It's simple, arcade-inspired action. Bubble Bus would go on to make more ambitious titles later, but this early release captured that pick up and play spirit, and it's one of those forgotten gems that represents the creativity bubbling in the early C64 era. In third place is Choplifter, a genuine classic. Originally created for the Apple II by Dan Gorlin, this was one of the rare cases where a home computer game was that good it actually got ported into the arcades by Sega, the complete opposite of the usual arcade-to-home trend. On the C64 you pilot a helicopter into enemy territory, dodging tanks and jets while rescuing hostages and flying them back to safety. It mixed shooting action with a rescue mission structure, giving the gameplay more purpose than most shooters of the time. It's remembered not only as a great C64 game, but as an influential design that paved the way for rescue and objective-based shooters. Runner-up for 1982 is Starcross, an Infocom interactive fiction title ported to the C64. This was a pure text adventure, no graphics at all, but the depth of its storytelling more than made up for it. You play as a prospector who stumbles upon an alien artifact in space, and the game is all about solving puzzles and uncovering its mysteries. It came packaged in a distinctive saucer-shaped box, making it stand out even more on the shelves. While it wasn't for everyone, it cemented Infocom's reputation as a king of text adventures, and it gave the C64 a foothold in the growing world of interactive storytelling. And now, in number 1 we have Fort Apocalypse from Synapse Software. This helicopter action game sends you deep underground to rescue prisoners while battling waves of enemies and navigating tricky caverns. What really stood out was the smooth scrolling and sense of scale, features that were impressive for 1982. It was a huge hit on both Atari 8-bit and the Commodore 64, and it showcased just how capable the machine was right from its launch year. For many C64 fans, this was their first taste of a big action game at home, and it still holds up as a landmark early release. And that's it for the top 10 C64 games of 1982, a mix of arcade conversions, quirky experiments and a few timeless classics that will set the stage for years to come. This was the very beginning of the C64's journey, and already we have games like Choplifter and Fort Apocalypse showing just how much potential the machine had. If you enjoyed this countdown, don't forget to like and subscribe and stay tuned, because next time we're moving to 1983 where things really start to pick up with bigger names, more developers and some true all-time greats. Oh, and one more thing, if you would like to become a Patreon like these guys going up the screen right now, get on over to my Patreon channel where you can pledge for as little as $1. That will get you perks like your name in the end credits, video requests, giveaways and more in the future. Until next time, this is OSG signing out.